Yes, folks, the organ has announced us. We have arrived. NFL 2024 has kicked off. The Houston Texans go to Lucas Oil Field today and leave with a victory, 29-27. And that handsome guy on the other side of me, my good friend Elwin Henderson of the Gilmore Mirror. Elwin, good afternoon, man. How's it going?
Doing great, man. How about you? Got to be doing good with the Texans doing what they did today.
Yeah, it was. And I tell you what, we're gonna get into it, but it answers some questions. I mean, obviously, first game, you see a lot of things they got to clean up. But one thing they came out on they didn't come out on the short end of the scoreboard today, and the one thing the offensive line answers some questions. Yes, I know CJ got sacked 4 times, but when Joe Mixon today, to me, and it's interesting. And I go back to training camp talking to Titus Howard. Remember a clip I had out there, and it's out there on YouTube now. When Titus was saying, I say sometimes y'all just feel like y'all just want to just line up and just start, laying the meat hook for folks. Today they got a chance to really lay the forearms into the other team, and for Joe Mixon today, 30 carries, 159 yards.
Man.
Just the opposite of what you normally would have seen the Indianapolis Colts last year.
Yep.
But this year, and so, that was the one concern and one thing in my mind. What would the offensive line, how would they come out today? Yeah, I think they'll get the pass protection. That's going to be that'll be taken care of.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think CJ was as sharp today. I did. I think maybe the pressure on him today. But the thing about the two guys that they brought in on draft picks, Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, they proved their worth right off the bat. But don't let me keep rambling. What are your initial thoughts after watching the Texans today?
Well, I love the fact that they never quit. When the adversity hit, they just came right back. Every time Indy came in and scored, they came right back and scored. I did think that the offensive line did a fantastic job for the run blocking. As you've already mentioned, CJ was sacked 4 times. They got to work on the pass blocking. The offensive line, I didn't think did nearly as good as I would have expected them to do on pass blocking. But as you pointed out when you and I were exchanging texts back and forth during the game, this is really the first time this line's had a chance to play together in a while. I know they'll get it fixed. That's the only disappointing thing I saw as far as from the offensive side. And on the defensive side, obviously, we got to make sure we cut out that blown coverage, because blown coverage led to 2 long passes and 2 scores, or this game wouldn't have been a 2-point ball game.
Yeah. The other issue, remember I was talking about the whole the front 7, but in particular the defensive tackle spots.
Yeah.
Both of your pressures from and your pressures today and your sacks came from Foley. I'm gonna kill his name, Fadakasi and Mario. Mario Edwards today both got the sacks, but I think there was consistent pressure from Hunter. Particularly Donnell Hunter today. He was just like he was just swarming today. Yeah. So I think I think Hunter made Anthony Richardson sort of alter his play in the long run. But I think that 2 things I felt I put it like this: it's a work in progress.
Yeah,
and I have to give them. I got to give them thumbs up. I definitely got to give thumbs up to the offensive line, because they were averaging overall. They averaged 5.3 yards a pop today.
Yeah,
and so when you can average over 5 yards a pop, third down is no third down. That's first down. First down, second down, and you back to first down again. Joe Mixon, and here's the thing about it. From an offensive lineman standpoint, when he plant that foot and move, make that cut, once all he got to do is get shield off guys. He gets up in there. Plus, Joe was in the secondary a lot today.
Oh, yeah.
And so that means those safeties, I think by the time the fourth quarter came, I think those safeties got tired of seeing Joe Mixon today.
I know they did. And I'll tell you what, AD, just like you said, he was getting into the third level of that defense in the fourth quarter. I think they were just sucking air, and he never looked like he missed a beat, never even looked tired the whole game.
Yeah, well, like I say, they took care of him. During training camp. A lot of some of the pundits we walk around training camp. Where's Mixon? What's the situation? Well,
Yep.
you know what? The thing about it, you don't win the championship in preseason. You win it.
No.
You win it by having players available. So he was available today. He was out for at least a couple of weeks, and he ran hard. He ran. Let's wait. Joe Mixon ran vicious today.
He did.
He ran vicious, and the thing about it, he initiated contact. He wasn't letting guys get into his body. He was initiating contact today. So from my standpoint, man, as an offensive lineman, when you got a back like that, particularly when he can get past that first wave and get into the secondary, you starting to see. In fact, I picked up a couple of times. Your wide receivers, Nico Collins and all them, were blocking, particularly on some on the 6 and 7 on the 6 and 7 holes when they had to get out there, shielding guys off and allowing Mixon to get out there and alter his route that should have been gone in the 5 hole. He was able to jump outside on a couple of occasions. So I am tremendously pleased with the way, particularly this running attack, because we didn't see this out. It was sporadic last year. You know that. So it was sporadic. Defensively, they answered the question, because next week's a different story. But they got Sunday night games, so they get the prime spot next. While everybody else should be on, except for the Monday night game, they'll get to host the Chicago Bears next week, and Caleb Williams they'll bring him in, and so I expect that the defense will just continue to pursue and continue where they are. Now, Anthony Richardson is a big kid.
He is huge.
When one time when that touchdown when they scored, when he brought the game close, I just knew they had him.
Oh, I did too.
He drugged Jalen Petrie. It's almost like Jalen Petrie was holding on to his leg. How a little kid hang on when you're a little kid and hang on your dad's leg. It's almost like Jalen Petrie was just hanging on like, hey, are y'all gonna come help me with this dude?
Yep.
But it was good overall. Secondary, that was the deep ball high point on a couple of catches. But you know what? Nico Collins proved that he was high pointing some balls. So those guys on the other side get paid too. So I know Jimmy Ward got I thought he was in decent position on one of them, the deep ball from Anthony Ward, but guy made a play. They made a play today. So that's it. Your thoughts, other thoughts there on that. We're gonna go ahead and like I say, not bringing no some of my interviews didn't get through like I thought. So we're gonna go ahead. We'll knock this down and let you get back to. I know you sitting back there savoring what Jerry does, since he done gave he done opened the checkbook to CD Lamb, and now what was it about them? I guess he thought obviously we know the Cowboys have just got that game in hand. Yep. But what was Jerry thinking about? Would he pay them, sign the contract? 11 o'clock this morning? Is that the correct story?
Yeah, that's the story. And I'll tell you what I think he was thinking about. You noticed that yesterday, Dak suddenly changed his whole frame of what he was saying. I think Jerry was being Jerry. Jerry wants the spotlight. It's opening Sunday, and he wanted everybody, instead of focusing on open Sunday and talking about all the teams that hadn't already played, since we did have, 4 teams that did before today. I think Jerry was thinking, if I announce that right before kickoff of the first early games, then guess what? me and the Cowboys are going to be all over the headlines in the NFL all day on opening Sunday. I firmly believe that's what it was about. And, you know, I thought about this. I'm not going to accuse Dak of this, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Jerry didn't call him and his agent in and said, hey, you know, let's make this sound like we ain't going to work this out, and then we'll work it out at the 11th hour. And if you'll do that, besides guaranteeing $231 million of your $240, I'll throw in an $80 million signing bonus. I mean, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it happened that way.
You been drinking?
No, yeah, I had a Fresca right before we came on.
Okay.
Hey, it's the NFL, man. Anything is possible in the NFL anymore.
Yeah, and here's the one thing you and I both know. Jerry loves the spotlight.
Oh, yeah.
He loves how to command the spotlight, and he loves how to manipulate the spotlight. Because I found the timing around 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, we signed in the contract. I'm going like, oh, okay. So you signed the right before, and you know, obviously Dak comes out, and you know, I mean, they seem to be in cruise control right now with the Browns. So who knows, man? I like I say, I don't know. As we get ready to wrap, you know, as I stated, you know, I'll have some post-game comments, you know, go from the presser tomorrow and everything. As we get ready to wrap, pluses, minuses, as we get ready to call it a day.
Well, the pluses, you start off the season right with a win instead of a loss, so you're way ahead of where you were last year. The only real minuses I see is the way that Bears game started off today. I thought, man, they're going to lose, and everybody's expecting the Bears to be so good. But they came back with a vengeance in that fourth quarter and pulled that victory out. So they're on a high momentum streak. Yeah, they got to travel, but they've got plenty of time to rest up because, like you said, it's a Sunday night game. And I think the biggest thing in that, and I know D'Amico Ryans will have the Texans ready, they won't be complacent about, oh, well, Chicago barely won, because they'll say, oh, we barely won, just like them. But the protection for C.J. Stroud, I think, will improve that game next week against the Bears, but it has to improve. It scared me to death today a couple of times that he was going to get hurt when he was having to run for his life. So I think that's the only real negative I pulled out of that. And then, of course, the blown coverage on a couple of plays. I think they'll get that fixed. But it ought to be a whale of a game next Sunday night at NRG Stadium.
Yeah, I think so. Let me take my hat off to Kenyon Green. I mean, he's come back. Yeah, I know the Texans, I think today they committed 3 illegal procedures, jumping outside or moving too quick. But if I have to have a game ball right now, I'm giving it to Kenyon Green. And that's not a knock against Shaq Mason or Juice Scruggs, anybody. But I think this kid can come a long way back. And I thought, and I think really Mason, Scruggs, Green, that, because a lot of that running was done in between the tackles, between the 5 and the 6 hole. And that was the gist of where the Texans were running today, and when they were able to control the line of scrimmage today, and particularly on the run game, how they were, my standpoint. But I'm just taking my hat off to Kenyon Green. He suffered some, he took some slings and arrows from some of us media personnel, blah, this and that. But he's come back, put his head down. He's back. He's starting. I think this is the beginning of a, obviously barring injuries or anything, the fact that this offensive line could come back. And I know one of your texts, when I read one of your texts, I started to go like, but Elwin, but I went like, okay, I understand. But
we have some fun going back and forth during the game.
But I just saw. I said, okay, I'm not gonna respond. Right, I'm gonna sort of back up a little bit. And by that time, Mixon had ripped off about a 8 or 9 yard run. So I went like, okay, I'll just be quiet for the time being, but but overall, hey, hats off to you, Kenyon Green, today.
You bet.
Dak, not Dak, CJ, I thought, but I thought he just basically had a decent pedestrian game. He
Yeah.
didn't have to put a cape on today. I
No.
thought, Stephon Diggs, both of those signings have proven that right off the bat, that
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna ride with them. And Damian Pierce came in doing a couple of nice runs, resting Joe Mixon. So you can start to see, this is 1/17 of a season, folks. But not to get overly surface, but you can start to see some things, how they're gonna, encapsulate and how this thing's gonna go down. The Texans are leading the AFC South because everybody else lost today.
Yep.
So they're already one up on everybody else in the AFC South. So, hey, you know what? Oh, and by the way, before we get ready to get out of here, if you have not subscribed to the AdMax Corner YouTube channel, please do so. Hit that subscribe button down there. And those of you all that are on the Houston Roundball Review channel, hit the subscribe button, subscription. Yeah, obviously I'm trying to catch up to that one, but that's okay. I'm whichever channel you are, subscribe, jump over and subscribe to the other. Finally, as we get ready to go, and I'm gonna let Elvin get back in his chair and let you rock back in the chair and finish watching Dak, and maybe Dak will help you come over and help count his change, his petty cash money in Jerry's pocket.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, my final thought, something you already mentioned, CJ didn't have to put on the cape and be Superman today. And I think that's an indication of the improvements that Nick Caserio made with the offseason trades, along with the draft and what we came up with in the draft. And I don't think CJ is going to have to put the cape on. Last year, as you know, about half of those victories, he had to be the savior of the team to pull them out. I think he can, as you called it, I think he can be good, efficient pedestrian this season, and we can still win a lot of games.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the fact that, he only threw 5 interceptions this past season. Yeah,
Yep.
He had a couple of a day that, he was fortunate. And at the end of the year, we're going to go back and look at the totality of it, and we won't remember this. Because I'm pretty sure that the Colts, they'll come back. They'll come back in the NRG ready for bear. But in the meantime, Elwin, appreciate it. I'll let you get back to the Cowboys, and I'll get ready to shut this puppy down. Appreciate you again, man. We'll be talking later on, okay?
All right. Appreciate you, buddy. Hope everybody has a great week.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, folks. As Elwin mentioned, adios to you. As I'm getting ready to get out of here. Texans again today. Texans over the Indianapolis Colts, 29-27. Secondary, not necessarily blown coverage, and got behind some folks today. Coach, they'll get that worked out. At the end of the day, you play the game to win. The Texans won. So hats off, Kenyon Green, game ball to you. Fadakasi and Mario Evans, game ball to y'all. And the way y'all sort of hung in there today with the inside rush, Donnell Hunter. The fact that continuous pressure today coming off there. So overall, is what you play the game to win per Herm Edwards. And without further ado, this is your man Adolphus A.D. Moore signing off as your Houston Texans get their first victory of the season, 29-27 over their AFC South rival. They lead the AFC South. Everybody else lost today. And we get ready to go home and probably finish watching the Cowboys. And then we got Sunday night game. And I guess some of us is on DirecTV. We probably won't get to see them. Oh, well, wait a minute. No, we won't get to see it because that means DirecTV don't have nobody from Disney, anybody else. I'm going to have to go pirate somebody's signal to watch the Monday night game. But anyway, folks, I'm out. Ciao, peace, and stay tuned for more. Don't forget AD_More64. X, Twitter, AdMax Corner on the Instagram, and also the shorts on the AdMax Corner. I'm gone, folks. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Oh, don't forget, folks in the Houston area, tropical storm in the Gulf. So Do not get caught flat-footed on this. We know what happens. This is this time of the year when everything really gets cooking in the Gulf. Do not be lazy about this. Let's stay focused to your local network TVs about what's going on in the Gulf. I'm out.